Hi. Just getting a little Palo Santo lit here. I'm going to say a prayer while I'm getting this lit. If you purchase Palo Santo to use as a spiritual supply, please make sure that you're buying from a reputable source that's harvesting ethically. This is a holy wood, and it must be harvested from dead wood or dead trees only. So if you ever purchase or use Palo Santo, please make sure that you're buying from a reputable source. I'm going to start with a prayer that my teacher taught me. Cleanse, clear, fill, and encircle us with thy divine white light of protection. Remove from us any negative energies and return them to their proper plane. And fill us with light, peace, and love. We are light, peace, and love. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, I don't always pray on camera. I'm like slightly superstitious about praying on camera. But you know, my teacher does it all the time. So if it's okay for her, I guess it's okay for me too. So part of the reason that I used my teacher's prayer is because this is a follow-up video on a very interesting scenario that I did for a client actually today. I want to let my clients know at large that one of the things that I do is offer a follow-up on all of my services at this time. I hope in the very near future to be busy with clients to the point that I'm not able to do this anymore, but for the time being, it's definitely helping me to develop rapport and trust with my clients that I already have. As well as this particular instance, I asked my client if it would be okay to do the follow-up video and omit any personal information or identifiers so that I could be able to share this with a larger audience. Her scenario is interesting, and also, somebody might learn a little something. So the reason that I wanted to make this video is because the client in particular had a very interesting situation. So while I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my cards and pull a few cards because part of this follow-up reading, or part of this follow-up will include a reading. My client this morning called me really for spiritual advice. So not only am I a psychic card reader, I'm also a spiritual advisor, and for this particular client, it's a very strange situation. So I have been in my client's home before, and I can say with certainty that this is not a haunted house. It is not a portal for negative energy. There is definitely nothing like spooky or off happening about the house. However, the reason that my client called me this morning is because the whole household was awoken to this noxious odor. It was described as, smelling of onions, and the question that I asked was, did it smell sulfuric? And the answer that I was given was yes, it did. And she also described it as smelling, slightly of death, though there was a touch of something rotting to the house. So part of the reason I want to make this video is because there's a lot of psychics and spiritual advisors out there that will take advantage of clients who are in a fearful state, who are vulnerable. So the very first thing that I did here was, do a little remote psychic viewing on the home, and, feeling very confident that there is no negative or malevolent energy, definitely no entity present, but it is concerning. Part of the reason that I give spiritual advice here on this particular topic is because I want to let my greater audience know that, like, if we are living with a lot of fear or a lot of worry, it tends to create these fractures or like little holes, splits in our aura, or also known as our etheric body. And when that happens, when these fractures or splits occur, we start to leak out some of our life force energy. And that could be dangerous. We definitely don't want to become ill, sick, depleted, drained from, leaking out our life force energy. And we definitely don't want to have a scenario where we're attracting negative entities or energies to us or to our home because we are like living in a place of fear and worry. So for this client, I gave very specific instructions on how to cleanse and clear the home with smoking herbs. Now I don't I don't mean smoking herbs. I mean like actually setting them alight and using a particular prayer. Oops, I dropped one. A particular prayer and cleansing and clearing the home. So this doesn't just cleanse and clear the home, it also cleanses and clears the client of any fear or worry that they may be having. Again, I've been in this person's home. I have viewed the person's home from a from my mind's eye, and I have no reason to believe that there is any sort of negative or evil energy in her home or on her person. So just starting to pull a few cards here so that I can do this follow-up a little bit. And part of what I do with the cards as a psychic, you may be familiar with the word clairvoyant. Clairvoyant means clear seeing, and I do possess some of those qualities, but I also am what is called claircognizant. So interesting, very cool card. So as a claircognizant, part of what I do is I use these cards, the tarot cards, to help receive more clear or specific information from the spirit world, so that I'm able to give like more precise information. Of course, while I'm using my cards, I'm still picking up on intuitive energy and inputting that into my readings. But the cards themselves actually help really get very narrowed down and specific. So as opposed to giving my client, information like, oh, I'm seeing a palm full of coins, then I might actually get more specific information from like, say one of the pentacles in the suits of pentacles, which is about money and physicality and the material world. So, pulled some interesting cards here for you, my client. And to speak to the idea that like there may be some sort of energetic rife, some little schism energetically that's happening in your home, and I know that this isn't particularly about you. It's about the individuals, about the collective that's living in your home. There is a real feeling that things are coming to a close, and the reason for that is because the first card that comes up is the Tower. Now, the Tower is can be quite a frightening card when you look at it, but it is important to know that the Tower is a solid structure, and it's being struck by a sudden force of energy. And the best guidance here is to allow the Tower to fall. Again, this is one of those cards in the tarot that is considered evil or scary, but there really isn't anything scary here going on. It's really feeling in particular like this client is needing to close up shop and move to a new home and live in a different situation that's going to bring more feelings of peace and abundance, more opportunities. Part of the reason that the need to move on is because what is happening here in this living environment is inevitable. You cannot stop the Tower from falling. It's definitely going to come crashing down. So the Tower often comes up as a warning. It's time to start looking at other avenues and figuring out what is going to happen next, so that you are not literally struck down as a person, as an individual. moving and our living situations is quite draining and overwhelming. But the next card that comes up is actually a particularly good omen with really great advice around it, really great guidance. So the Seven of Cups comes up when there are a lot of really great opportunities for an individual. So the Tower, followed by the Seven of Cups, is actually quite a benefit. But the Seven of Cups also comes with very specific guidance and warning. And this warning is to really be careful, make sure that any opportunities that may be presenting themselves to you, if they feel too good to be true, it probably is. You definitely want to take close evaluation and make wise choices for yourself. I'm getting the number 7 in particular, that you know, this may last no more than 7 weeks to 7 months, but I'm definitely seeing a transition, a shift in the living situation within this 1 year's time. So by the close of 2019, there will be a new living situation happening here. More guidance around the the Seven of Cups. You can see that here for the client, there is many opportunities, but it's very important to steer clear of any illusion or wishful thinking, and really stay grounded. Don't avert your eyes to what is good and true for something that seems too good to be true. And then the last card that came up here is actually a really great. The Ace of Pentacles is one of the strongest yeses in the deck. The Ace of Pentacles is about a new opportunity, new windfall of income. It's quite possible that the new living situation that you're going to be in is either closely associated with increasing your income or decreasing your overhead, so that there's more finances available to you in your daily life. The Ace of Pentacles, again, is very much a yes. So speaking to the Tower card, when the Ace of Pentacles comes up with it, it's definitely a yes. Allow the current situation to dissolve and go forward with your life and make some new bold choices that are clearing the way for any sort of illusion or feelings that if an opportunity presents itself to you, really clearly evaluate what its pros and cons are, so that you are not living in a fantasy world. We want to see you getting yourself into this new place of a little more financial freedom and a great big feeling of a yes in your life. It's tough when you are living in a situation with a lot of different people, and you tend to be sensitive or even empathic and psychic yourself. It can be particularly draining to be around a lot of other people. So making space to live on your own is definitely going to help. And I feel that I'm going to just go ahead and choose one more card here as sort of the closing card, and to get a little bit more specific information. I really like to do a little conclusion. So let me shuffle these a few more times. All right. All right. So the Six of Swords is what comes up. And the reason that this makes me giggle is because I was particularly talking about how there is a need to let the current situation come to an end, and that there's a big yes here. The Six of Swords, you can see that this is a card of motion. Okay, the family that's moving here is being assisted by an outside source. You can see there is a leaving of troubled waters and a moving to calmer waters. But the real guidance here actually speaks back to this card, the Seven of Cups. The Six of Swords is a warning that, wherever you go, there you are. Your troubles will come with you. in the world. No, even moving, it's like in the recovery process, they call it a geographical, when you move from one place to another in order to try to solve your problems. So this is saying that, moving into a new place, a new environment is a definite yes, but reminding you that you may remove from yourself the troubles of living with multiple people in a busy household, but your own personal troubles will come with you. Wherever you go, there you are. So there is definitely the indication that there is, smoother waters ahead. There is motion moving forward, and you will be relieved of the, outside energetic influences of living with multiple people. And also, you will still need to cope with your own personal stuff, which is, not necessarily a bad thing. I think for me personally, as someone who is, a highly spiritual individual, growth and, the development of the self is something that I am perpetually seeking, and I know that my clients are a vibrational match for me. So, most of my clients are also in that same place of like really doing their best to like better themselves and, reach a place of like contentment and happiness and gratitude for themselves. So I really hope that this video helped my client in particular to give a little bit further guidance around the housing situation. Again, nothing to worry about here. There is definitely no haunting in your home. There's no malevolent spirit trying to mess with you. It's entirely possible that the scent in your home is it's like a failing refrigerator or something funky in the HVAC lines, or a little critter crawled up and died under the house. It's really important to know that for me personally, as somebody who is a psychic and a spiritual advisor and an oracle, somebody who uses divination to be able to give guidance to my clients, I never want my clients to feel like they are going to be preyed upon for their fear or vulnerability. And there are definitely charlatans out there in the world. There are psychics that will, or that they claim to be psychic, and they're not actually psychic at all. And they are out there, just trying to rake in the big bucks by preying on people. It's important to know how to protect yourself. So if you ever, are needing guidance and you go to a different spiritual advisor, if they refuse to treat you like you are a sovereign being, if they belittle you or make you feel judged, if they seem like they are untrustworthy or shady in any way, don't pay them to do what they do. There's better people in the world who are definitely like here to be in service to other humans living the spiritual experience. And I want to be one of them. If you didn't already know, one of the things that I offer besides these type of follow-ups for all my clients at this time, I'm also offering 2 pay-what-you-can appointments per week. So that's up to 8 appointments per month. And this is really to just help those people who may not be able to afford my regular rates, because I think that spiritual advisor is something that should be accessible to all people, irregardless of their like socioeconomic status. So if you are a person that is in need of some guidance and you're really like going through it in your life, reach out to me. If I do not have one of those 2 spaces available in the current week, we can always get you set up so that you're booked an appointment for the following week and you can pay what you can the day of. I'd love to be able to help as many people as possible. So if you have any questions or comments for me, please drop them in the link below or in the comment section below. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. And if you haven't already, follow my business page and my personal page, hit the subscription button, and see what I come up with next. I never know what's coming because I just do the work that Spirit puts in front of me, but it's always exciting. There's never a dull day in my life. Wishing you all the best, and gonna go ahead and close this video up now that it's just about the 20-minute mark. Bless you all, and may you have a peaceful day.